I knew that this was not normal for my body.
That was the first thought of K-State President Dr. Richard H. Linton when he found a swollen lymph node while shaving.
It was maybe the size of an almond.
Still, he waited several weeks to see his primary care physician, who prescribed an anti-inflammatory, but that didn't help.
It went from the size of an almond to maybe a half of a size of a lemon.
So he asked a friend for advice. That friend just happened to be a colleague and ENT specialist and the KU chancellor, Dr. Doug Girard.
He had looked at it, and I think he knew that there was something wrong.
Dr. Girard referred Dr. Linton to the University of Kansas Health System.
He came back after the CAT scan. I looked at him and I said, "I know what you're going to tell me." I said, "You're going to tell me I have cancer." And he says, "Yeah, I am."
He was diagnosed with stage 2 base of tongue cancer caused by HPV.
The fact that it was HPV positive because of the virus was a really good thing. So the prognosis for me was somewhere between 85 and 90% potential cure rate, which is very, very high in cancer.
Chemo and radiation treatment began right away at the University of Kansas Cancer Center. 6 weeks later, the chemo treatment ended, and on week 7,
Friday the 13th was my last radiation treatment, and at 7:23 is when I got to ring that second bell. Emotional. The end of a marathon, and got to do it with my wife and with my sisters. I rang a bell twice, once for chemotherapy and once for radiation. It was, the end of a very difficult journey. Incredibly proud, and just wanting that to be a moment of, we did it, and let's move forward.
his wife Sally, their children Lily and Chris, and 3 sisters weren't the only family that supported him on this journey. The K-State family flooded him with thousands of cards, well wishes, and texts.
When I talk about the K-State family, I define it a whole lot different than what I did before cancer.
And this Wildcat says he'll be forever grateful to his Jayhawk friend, whose guidance ultimately led him to life-saving treatment.